Hey friends and neighbors, it's the South Florida White Shirt Band, otherwise known as Jimmy P and Willie B. Big surprise, we're going to do a Johnny Cash song written by an old Jewish boy named Shel Silverstein. This one's called A Boy Named Sue. You ready, kid?
Yeah.
Here we go. Well, Daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to Ma and me, just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did, before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from a lot of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red. Some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell ya, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up fast, I grew up mean. My fists got hard and my wits got keen. I moved from town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars that I'd search the honky tonks and bars and kill the man that gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July. I just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. On an old canteen in a street of mud, sitting at a table dealing stud, was a dirty rotten dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn out picture that mother had. I knew the scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and gray and bent and old. I looked at him and my blood ran cold. I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you gonna die!" That's what I told him. So I hit him hard right between the eyes. He went down, but to my surprise, come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we went through the window and into the streets, kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. Well, I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh, I heard him cuss. He went for his gun, but I pulled my first. He stood there in the street, and I seen him smile. He said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough. I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you that name and I said goodbye. I knew you'd either get tough or die. And don't you see, it's that name that made you strong." Now you just fought one hell of a fight. I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your gut and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the dirty dog that named you Sue. What could I do? What could I do? I got all choked up, threw down my gun, called him Pa, he called me son, come away with a different point of view. And I think about him now and then, every time I fight and every time I win. And if I ever have a boy, I think I'm gonna name him Bill, George, anything but Sue. I still hate that name. God bless Johnny Cash.